some films, and we've got 4 more, and then we are finito. So we'll go first for Pablo Larrain, and Neruda.
Yeah, so Neruda is a biopic about Pablo Neruda, who was a Nobel Prize-winning Chilean poet back in the 40s, and basically he was a communist back then, and that was just when Chile was sort of getting really comfortable with the American government, and so that basically made him enemy number 1.
It did.
And he had to go on the run, and
because he's a senator as well, isn't he?
Yeah. And he has to go on the run, but he's soon being trailed by a detective whose name is so long that I don't even want to bother. He's Oscar Pelucino.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, your typical mustache whirling policeman.
Quite, what do you call him, Poirot?
Yeah,
like a young Poirot.
On a wild goose chase across the country to find out where he is and bring him down, because that's just what he's got to do.
Yes.
It's not your traditional biopic because it's sort of... It's very sort of transcendental in terms of how it becomes more than just a study of its character, because it is a film that is just essentially one big caper.
Yeah,
like it's just, I mean, the only thing I could think of throughout this entire film was this Pablo Neruda is just like the Pink Panther.
Yeah,
like he's constantly.
I thought like Tom and Jerry.
He puts a wig on and a costume to hide from in a sort of a palace. He sort of hides in like a picture frame in one scene.
Yeah,
like he's a proper like Pink Panther sort of thing, like slinking away from everybody, like constantly evade and grasp, and like there are story elements which explain why this detective always seems to be so close, but he can't sort of catch him in the end as the story develops. But you can't say it as spoilers. But I mean, it becomes more than just sort of look at the character of Pablo Neruda. I mean, I know virtually nothing about the poet before this film, but you can see that he was indeed a very interesting man, a man of great words, but also of great personality. So it does get you a great insight into it. I mean, it's a really witty film. It's a really, really beautifully filmed film.
Oh, massively.
Like from the very start. I mean, especially as it gets towards its climax, and I was getting shades of The Revenant. I don't know
there is that, yeah, but I think aside from that, there's several different sort of visual styles within the same film. There's lots of different bits of iconography that he's used to match different moods, different scenes, different settings. I mean, whenever done these scenes, and there's quite a lot of scenes in cars when nobody says anything, it's just a sort of shot of them inside a car. And it's on a green screen. It's obvious on a green screen, but they make it obvious. It's a nice little touch.
So it's like kind of some little rear projection in a way.
Yeah. It's like you can see the car, you can see it's being rocked, and you can see it's a green screen, but it's clever and it looks good. It's got like a nice sort of filter, a nice bit of tinge. I think it adds to the whimsy of the film. It's quite a whimsical, quite a silly, playful film, until it gets to a certain point when it becomes a bit more profound, and some of that stuff really, really works. I think some of that stuff went straight over my head, but yeah, I like Neruda very much.
I think it was just sort of. I think it's that whimsical quality that I had to it throughout the whole thing. It's that sort of like tall tale kind of thing. It's like almost as if he's saying like, this is who I believe Pablo Neruda was, rather than maybe what he actually was in reality. Because he just seemed literally like a sort of like semi James Bond, semi Pink Panther kind of character. He's constantly evading and grasp with like the blink of an eye, and he's so like. Brashly confident.
It is probably Pablo Larrain's like quite biased, idealized, biased version of, because he's proved to be quite a lefty across the films he's made, with No and Jackie.
Because it's not just a straight biopic. It plays around with the formula and it tries to be an interesting and involving and really, really intelligent story of its own, and keeping a very long love letter to its subject.
We were only April. And currently 2 of the top 10 films this year for me are both from Pablo Larrain.
This one was filmed first.
Strange. Yes, this was. But it's finally made it across in the UK. It's well worth seeing. It's like, before we saw it, Ryan, you were like, I've heard it's really slow. That must be something else, because that was not slow.
Yeah, that was not slow.
That was constantly moving, constantly really snappy and funny.
Yeah, it gets itself. It seems to. I mean, he seems to sort of be like etching himself out a nice little sort of. Like covenant of different styles.
Yeah, very.
Pablo Larrain, from Jackie, from the club to Neruda, because it was filming first, to Jackie. And it's sort of
everything's been different. I'm liking what he's doing. He's one to watch. We'll move on to, and that's time to decide cinema. I think it's going to be on the rest of this week, possibly, hopefully.